just getting back, what I call them Sundays. Like, how do you string wins together now, man? How do you build off of
Do what we did on Sunday. I thought we played really well on Friday too. We just couldn't close out the sets that I thought we could have closed out. And I said it often. You got to learn how to be in those positions by being in those positions. And sometimes it's difficult to replicate that, in an away environment. So I thought we played well enough to win on Friday. We just didn't, come over the top. And then we pointed a bunch of stuff out on Saturday in film and just like, hey, these are the points we can't give up, and these are the points that we know that we're better at, and we have to maybe not try to do too much at the end of the set and try to close it out. And I felt like we saw a direct result of that against Rutgers, where we had that tight first and third set, and then we were able to run away with it in fourth.
Yeah, I mean, how vital is this East Coast swing to maybe get back to 500?
Yeah, every win's important. Wins are tough to come by in the conference, and I think it's Maryland's playing well. They're always tough in their home gym. Rutgers, same thing. They've been playing well. They beat Minnesota the week before we just played them, and so it's always tough to come by wins, and it requires everyone's best to come out on top. And so I think momentum-wise, we get to a stretch of our schedule where we need these for sure, and then we need a marquee win, and they're just kind of staying the hunt.
I mean, when do you start looking at RPI maybe closely?
Yeah, it probably gets a little bit around now, and probably halfway through the Big Ten season, it becomes important, because then you get looked at for your second half performances too. So it's obviously your whole season is judged, but your second half of the season becomes a big deal. And we have 4 ranked teams that we're going to play in the second half, or maybe 5 if they're count receiving votes, and we have to be able to perform well against every single one of them. So our backs are against the wall for sure. We need to come out on a majority of those matches to have a shot, but the RPI's kind of a funny game, so to speak, but we're still in a place that's attainable.
I guess the benefit of the Big Ten is like there's no shortage of maybe matches that you can win if you win them, that they really help.
Yeah, I mean every win in the Big Ten looks good in your resume, and last year we were kind of in the same situation where we got to the end, and we get the last 2 we're probably in. We just can come out on top of those 2, but you're right. I mean we have 5 teams that are in the top 40 in the RPI, and any win in that realm is going to do you well, and any win just in general. I think our conference as a whole this year, we're all kind of in that 150 and below range, and so whenever you can get wins against those teams, it's always good.
Jess, played really well. So is she maybe finding her form? I mean, after a atypical start to the season?
I think so. She came back from, as we know, just kind of coming off the what did that Giants guy say? I came off the couch to come play. So she was kind of in the same boat, and so she kind of took a little minor injury coming back, and wasn't enough to keep her out, but she wasn't kind of swinging full force, and I think just within this last week, she kind of got back to rhythm. She's playing with a new setter. New setter's trying to set her. When she kind of runs as fast as she does, it doesn't just happen overnight. And so again, to try to do it in the pressured moments in the Big Ten or otherwise, it's difficult to do. But I think this last weekend, she for sure was kind of the Jess that we saw last year in the previous years.
No more Raynell Jones at Maryland. That is still a big blocking team.
Yeah, it's a big emphasis for them. I believe they're still at the top of the conference for that stat. And they always have some pretty big players out there that have a big block. And so, again, whenever you play teams like that, similar to Wisconsin or other good blocking teams that we played, you got to pick your spots really well. And you can't be reckless out there. They're going to make some good moves on you. They're going to get some blocks for sure, but we have to be able to be really smart about how we attack and making sure we make good decisions when we take swings.
Is it about avoiding the block or just using the block well?
It really depends. Every match is a little bit different, formulates a little bit different. Usually when you have a bigger block, you want to try to use it as much as you can without kind of hitting to we call the teeth of it, or kind of getting in the phone booth of it, so to speak. We want to make sure that we're trying to use the edges. You're trying to hit high off the hands. You're trying to mix in your shots to keep the defense kind of on their heels. And so it's really just a mix. And then sometimes you'll find that in a match you get a certain matchup based on how your passing's going, and maybe we figure we can exploit one side of the court or or a certain type of play. And so it really just kind of formulates sometimes when we play. When we have an idea, of course, seeing it on film, but we want to make sure that we attack as best we can.
And just to clarify, do your players understand what a phone booth is?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We say that phrase now, but I don't think so. They don't know 411. They don't know any of that stuff. Yeah.
You said last week your serve and receive game has been improving. What are you seeing as a coach with that sort of high risk, high reward approach that you guys have on these serves?
Yeah, for us serving wise, it's we have to have high risk, high reward. Again, everyone in the conference is too good of an insistent team when they pass well. And so that we get Brooke jump serving, we get some other servers that are starting to mix in some more serves now. You need that in this conference. You can't face off against teams with the full offense. It's just too tough to stop. And so the more we can push them off the net with our serve, the better, and vice versa. The better we pass, the more we can run plays and we can make stuff happen. And we got a player like Reina that you can move kind of all around. It makes it difficult for other teams to stop. So it's our serve pass game has improved the last couple of weeks.
What are you taking, if anything, from the home win against Rutgers into the match on their home court?
Just when you play a team that close, within a week, you're just really you're trying to do obviously what works really well. You assume they're going to make some adjustments. You take about the first 10 points to figure out what adjustments that they try to make, and if they keep working, we keep doing them, and if they don't, then we got to keep figuring something else out. So that's kind of the chess match of playing someone within a short period of time. But I thought we served really well against them. I thought we passed really well against them, and it kind of caused them to give us a lot of points down the stretch.